世紀末の日本を突如襲った無差別高校生誘拐事件。警察も手が出せない強大な敵を相手に、ついに生徒たち自身が立ち上がった。
Oh boy, there's a lot to talk about with this game. This is Rival Schools United by Fate on the PlayStation. So this came on the PlayStation 1 with 2 discs. There's the arcade disc and there's the Evolution disc. If I have time, we might go over the Evolution disc, because there's a lot more going on with that one. This is straight up the arcade version. So obviously we could go down the bottom row and see a few surprise characters, but we're not going to do that here. We have someone more important and relevant.
"全国の悪が集まるこの高校を一つにまとめた総番長と呼ばれる男が行方不明になった。無法地帯へと戻った学校に総番長の弟と名乗る一人の転校生がやってきた。
で、総番長の弟殿がわしらに何の用なんじゃ。
兄貴の仇を取りたいのだ。協力してくれ。
仇だとよ、殺されたかどうかもわかんねえのによ。
兄貴は黙って消える人ではない。子分だった君たちにはわかるだろう。
ま、こっちも退屈してたところだ。ちっくら付き合ってやっか。
向こうから走ってくるやつがおるな。犯人が来てくれたんかの。
いたぞ、下道高校のやつらが。この野郎、兄貴の仇だ。
仇だと。待て、そんな覚えは。
いいじゃねえかよ、五輪高校のやつちゃん。受けて立つぜ。
Okay, so this game went through a few iterations before we have the game that we have before us.
Kick off. Round 1.
Before we actually get into Akira. So, the initial pitch for this game was a fighting game called Justice Fist. Hence why the game was known as Project Justice for a point. In that version, in that iteration of the game, I should say, the greatest fighters in the world come together to decide who is the world's strongest. And if that sounds a bit too much like Street Fighter, it's because it is. So, when this hotshot guy from Osaka named Hideaki Itsuno, you might have heard of some of the games he worked on, decided that it was a little too Street Fighter-y, they decided to change the setting of the game. The setting was changed to a school setting. since obviously everyone on the team went to school at some point.
Round 2, fight!
So, again, they threw around a couple more ideas. The first initial idea is that all the students in one class hold a tournament, and the winner will become the class representative. And then the idea was characters from rival schools would be involved in the storyline, and then the ideas started coming together from there.
わしらに勝てると思ったら大間違いじゃ。
兄貴ごめんよ。おいら負けちまった。ほらほら兄ちゃんよ、この落とし前どうつけてくれるんだ。
エッジ、いい加減にしろ。とにかく俺たちは仇などではない。
次の目標は太陽学院じゃな。腕が鳴るわい。
ラン、俺たちはタコを締めに行くんじゃない。おい、エッジも待て。
おいそこのクズども、うちの総番長やったのはてめえらなのかよ。
君たち誰？総番長なんて知らないよ。
とぼけんじゃねえ。力ずくでも吐いてもらうぜ。
So yeah, rival schools united by fate, not to be confused with the punk band that would emerge a couple years later called Rival Schools, and their album, United by Fate.
Round 1, fight!
This is the game we end up with, and we're playing as Akira. Akira would eventually be the sole Rival Schools character to get added into Street Fighter V. Hence why we're playing as Akira right now. So, this game has a few unique gimmicks, mostly the team-up ability. You can spend 2 meter, and in that way, you do an attack, and if the attack hits, your partner comes into the mix. And the game wants you to be very liberal with your meter, because you get 9 bars worth of it, as you can see.
Round 2, fight!
At any point in between rounds, you can tag out your active character. There would be another fighting game down the line that would use this idea. So here we have Gan, a character I'm much more decent with. Fingers crossed. As you can see, Gan really likes sumo. There's a third character, Edge, who fights with a knife, but he's not going to be important for the moment.
私たちの高校を襲ったのは君たち？
いきなり襲ってすまない。我々は総番長を失って気が立っていたのだ。
こんな奴らに謝んじゃねえよ。
失った？殺されたのか？そんなことは聞いてないぞ。
アキラよ、お主のおかげでわしらのメンツは丸つぶれじゃい。
総番長の弟ともって遠慮してたらいい気になりやがってよ。だいたいてめえは本当に弟なのか？
信じてもらえないのなら残念だが、力で分からせるしかないな。
ほう、なかなかの闘気だ。これで完璧な戦いをすれば広いものだな。
So, depending on the first character that you choose in arcade mode, you might get a unique fight once in a while. For Akira, Akira has to fight both Edge and Gan in one round. The story will still move on, win or lose, but come on, obviously. We gotta try. So, Akira has this weird stance where he goes into this pose, and then you can do like a combination of attacks. You kind of have to rotate your buttons around in like a clockwise or counterclockwise motion. Alright, there we go. I really should use the kick super more because it's way better than the projectile super.
参ったよてめえにゃ。
無理やり分からそうとして悪かった。これでは兄貴を襲った奴らと同じだ。こんな奴が協力してもらえるわけがない。俺は消えさせてもらう。
ちえと待たんかい。わしらを置いていくとは白状じゃのう。
まさか協力してくれるというのか。
てめえのハートが効いたからな。弟でなけりゃあんなパンチは打てねえぜ。
下道高校を潰す。なんだお主ら。むやみに相手にせんのじゃったか。
潰す。
ガン、こいつらは危険だ。
危ねえ匂いがプンプンしやがるぜ。
So obviously the storyline going on with this game is that there are students from various schools that are disappearing and showing back up with a need to fight. It's not an urge, it's a need. So yeah, the really good Akira one is the one where he starts with Light Punch. Because the ender on that is a launcher kick, and you can do air combos there. They're not really, like, spectacular air combos like you'd see in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. They exist. Oh, I was not blocking that. There we go. Saved myself there. Victory! Like, obviously, you don't have to switch your character if you don't want to, but I'm just doing so out of courtesy. Also, Roy's kind of kicking my butt here. These team-up attacks aren't necessarily just big combos. Sometimes they might be attacks that increase your health, increase your meter, things like that. So bear in mind what your partner can do when they're not active.
貴様たちが兄貴をやったのか。
危険人物。
帰って報告を。なんじゃこいつら。わけのわからんことを言いよるわい。
こいつらなんか様子が変だぜ。いっちゃ後をつけてみっか。
あんたたちちょっと待ちなさい。一体誰をつけてるの？
またお主たちか。もう一度痛い目を見たいようじゃの。
ああ、こいつらを相手にしてるとあのアメリカ人を見失っちまうぜ。
やめろ、手を出すな。あいつらは誰かに洗脳されているだけだ。
兄貴の敵が見えなくなる。貴様ら邪魔をするな。
So hey, let's fight Shoma again. Kinda wish there was a fifth school here. I mean, obviously we're gonna run into the fifth school, the perpetrator, if you will. Oh, that was right at the start. Aren't you glad the game gives you 3 meters to play around with? Trying not to do the pose, but it really is his best move. The neat thing about Dan's team up is that Akira ducks down to get the hit, so you could technically duck under some attacks with it. Oh my god! That's embarrassing. Okay, Gan, you're gonna have to carry.
Round 2, fight!
So there's a tardy counter where if you counter another special move with a special move, you kind of get a little less recovery. I am really not expecting him to burn meter that hard. Alright. Yeah, I was not expecting Shoma to burn that much meter.
Final round!
Kinda threw me off. So yeah, the schools are kind of what you expect. You have the hot-blooded Japanese-based school, the fancy sports-playing American school, the fancy sports-playing Japanese school, and the punk kid school. And then, of course, there's Justice High, which we'll get to. Okay. Alright, moving right along.
俺としたことが我を失うとは。確か洗脳されてると言ったな。
やっと落ち着いたが、そう、すべての原因はジャスティス学園だ。お主たちの仇も総番長を襲ったのもそいつらということじゃな。
だから私たちが力を合わせないといがみ合ってる場合じゃないんだよ。
巨大な敵ってわけか。面白い。久々にビンビン来やがるぜ。
君たちが来るのを待っていたよ。
貴様らがジャスティス学園のやつらか。
参ったな。年配の人は大事にしろと親父に言われてるんじゃがな。
お前変なとこで道徳くせえな。
年配ですって。もう絶対にあなたたちは通さないわよ。
So now we're getting into the heart of the matter. We're fighting against Kyoko and Hideo. These two are deadly.
Round 1 fight.
These two like doing a lot of damage. It doesn't help that Kyoko is very tricky with her offense. She basically slides across the field. And then that can happen. You just get overwhelmed by her. And she's not even the worst part of this duo. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, she'll just be moving to the side and turning this game into a 3D game. Jesus. Wow! I think that technically hit behind me.
Continue.
So yeah, these two are a bit of a rough patch. They're tough in their own way. Kyoko because she can outmaneuver you, and Hideo because for the most part, due to the fact that this is an input reading AI, they can technically outplay you.
Round 1 fight.
That was a bad choice. Oh my god, I let that happen twice.
Round 2 fight.
See, it just kind of starts hitting after a while. It's weird that way. Oh god, trading. So yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a tough time. I think I've made that point severely clear. Like, it's the kind of point that should be accompanied by an exclamation point, if you will.
Round 1 fight.
Reminder, she's not the worst of this duo. Oh my god. Alright, that's not combo. Good to know. Alright, now for the problem.
Round 2, fight!
Hideo is a Shoto. He really, really likes to take your offense and just uppercut it away. Oh, and his super sends you across full screen, just because it can. So good luck getting through his projectiles. Thankfully, I have hit confirms.
Victory! お主らエッジより弱いの。
いえ貴様ら、兄貴を襲った奴が他にいるだろう。
あなたたちそんな余裕を見せてていいのかしら。
おや、アキラ、エッジの姿が見当たらんぞ。また逃げてしまったかの。
まさか兄貴だけじゃなくエッジまで。ガン、エッジを探すんだ。
うちの教師を倒すとはやはりわしが見込んだだけのことはある。
たわけたことを言うな。兄貴を襲ったのは貴様だろ。
兄貴、君たちの言う総番長のことかね。彼はなかなか強情で困っておるんだよ。だが君たちの仲間は協力的だったがね。
ありゃ、エッジが敵になってしもうたか。あいつはすぐに強い方につくからの。
兄貴もエッジも生きてるのなら貴様を倒して取り返すのみ。
So for the most part, Raizo's partner is usually the third member of the school you didn't pick, assuming you have a school-based arcade mode. Raizo is another problem. Picture the bastard child of Talbane and Wolverine. He's gonna sit in the back right now while we attempt to deal with Edge. Not blocking, god damn it. Oh, well, that's lovely. We're gonna have to blow some meter. I could take the kills so I could save the meter. Or we could do that. I like doing that. So you take down the partner, and now you get to go to the principal's office. Most of Raizo's offense is Berserker Barrage, curling up into a ball and doing fancy combos. As you can see. I'll take that. Trying to land something. So, you need to kill Raizo with a team-up technique. If you don't, your arcade run ends then and there, and you get a bad ending. But since we killed him with a team-up, the story continues.
エッジ、大丈夫か。
俺が洗脳されるわけないじゃん。てめえらの実力を試してやっただけさ。
その割には弱っとるの。相変わらず嘘が下手くそな野郎じゃな。
なんだと？おめえみたいなうすらバカに言われたがね。
こんなところで仲間割れか。喧嘩の腕に頭がついていかないようだな。
わしの頭をバカにするやつはどいつじゃ。
もう一度聞こう。我々の日本制圧計画に参加する気はないか。君たち社会のクズに人の役に立つ機会を与えてやるというのがいい話だろう。
貴様、兄貴もそのために。
アキラ、大丈夫じゃい。こんなやつはわしがひねり潰してやるわい。
ああ、さすがに今度ばかり俺たちが潰されるかもしれねえぜ。
ほう、さすがに戦い慣れをしているようだな。では望み通りに潰してやるとするか。
Say hello to the final boss of the game, Hio Iwamano. He likes to partake in a little swordplay and fight you in deep space. Oh, I mean, look at the stage. He is a bit of a nasty customer. He really, really likes to hit confirm. He really, really likes his super where he does a few flash kicks. I was too far. The thing is, he has a few attacks that leave him open. And I wonder if I'm going to be fortunate enough to see them. Ah, I didn't even confirm that. Oh, wasn't that. So we can actually change our partner for this fight. Not that I want to. This Gen is a way more damaging team-up attack. Alright. I'm letting him do this. Damn it. Yeah, I had that coming. I played real sloppy. Keep it again. Not the time I want to get hit. Yeah. Okay. But as you can see, Hyo, lot of priority on his moves. He has some really exploitable openings in his attacks, but unfortunately for me, those are few and far between.
我が剣味わうがいい。
Round 1 Fight!
That move is one of them. I can duck under that and punish him with the team up accordingly.
見るがいい。ザン。見るがいい。ザン。
Nah, not far enough. But I'll take it.
Victory! Round
And thankfully, since I don't have to change partners, we don't have to load anything.
弱い。 弱い。
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by his super. You can see the damage it does. Yep.
これほどまでに弱いと。
Final round! Fight!
The stage does not help things, because I don't know if he stepped out of bounds or not. And I'm gonna die. Yep. Eventually, air blocking just stopped happening. And you just have to accept that.
Round 1 Fight!
見るがいい。ザン。
Yeah. It doesn't help that I don't play Akira as much, because he's tricky. His pose is an open invitation for an ass whooping. So while it is his best move, it's also not his most viable move. I just have to keep backing up right now. Yeah, this is a fucking wipe and a half. Like there, I didn't know he stepped to the side. I swear to God. We are extending our stay far longer than I wanted. But that's the way of things sometimes. Don't worry, the sequel game gets a much better boss.
Round 1 Fight!
行くぞ。
I deserve that. God damn it. Alright, swinging for the fences. Not good. I'm anticipating some shit that is not happening. Ah! Stop being so unpredictable. See what I mean?
Round 2, fight!
Most of the hits connected, but because he stepped out of bounds, or at least he stepped into the foreground, the last hit didn't connect. It's a little hard to make that assessment. Nope. That's fine. Got me through my team up. Nothing to complain about here. It's fine. You'll do nastier things to team up attacks in the sequel. It's fine. Just tardy counter all my attacks. This isn't a weird mechanic at all. I don't have any meter going into the next round, but it's worth it.
Final round!
Somehow. I'm really nervous about attacking at all. That's why I'm nervous! Because he can just do whatever he wants. There we go!
Victory!
So that is Rival Schools United by Fate arcade disc done.
Daigo 兄さん、生きていたのね。
すまない、アキラ。女のお前にこんな危ないことをさせてしまうなんて。
は？生きていたのね。
女のお前？
What? Metroid is a girl?
今まで嘘ついててごめんなさい。実は私は総番長の弟じゃなくて妹だったの。
なんだと？
よくもわしらを騙したの。
何するの？
お主が女だろうが男だろうがわしらには関係ないんじゃ。
とにかく俺たちは生死をくぐり抜けた仲だろ。今さら他人なんて虫が良すぎるぜ。よろしく頼むぜ相棒。
相棒なんてやだ。私は普通の高校生に戻りたいのに。ちょっと下ろしてよ。ガンのバカ。お願いだから下ろして。
So yeah, that's Project Justice. I mean, Rival Schools. I tell you, this game is 25 years old, and going back and playing the original Rival Schools, it sure does fit the 25 years old description. Playing this game nowadays, it's really rough around the edges. We're still in the phase where Capcom is starting to understand 3D, or at least 3D fighting games. Because the only other venture that Capcom themselves developed was a game called Star Gladiator. And for the first major 3D Capcom fighting game, boy, it looked the part. So they're getting a little better. They're getting a little bit better with rival schools. But even so, this one is a rough time trip. It's still a good game. It's still a great universe. And we will be exploring it in a future title. But for now, honestly, just stick with Project Justice. But that's it for now.
Game over!
And I'll see you in the next game.